Welcome back to Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee. I'm CarrieVee, your biggest fan, the person who believes in you even when you don't believe in yourself. This podcast is all about communication, confidence, clarity, leadership, and life. And today we're talking about why people, maybe me, get angry over the little things. It is the holiday season. If you're listening to this when this podcast is recorded, we are about 3 weeks from Christmas Day, and I am noticing as I go out an increase in anger. Now, this is supposed to be a season of joy and a season of laughter, but I see more and more that this has become a season of stress and a season of grief and a season of dismay. And what I'm finding and what I'm observing is that people are getting angrier and angrier over things that seem so small, like someone getting cut off in traffic, or maybe you pull into the gas station to get gas, and the person who is in front of you that you need to get to that pump finishes pumping gas and then goes in the store to get something rather than moving their car first. Yeah, that drives me nuts too. But I don't yell and scream, but that's what I see people doing. I see people upset that they've got to wait in line. I see people upset that maybe a price that was advertised is not what rings up on the cash register. All of these things are tiny things. It doesn't help to scream at the car that just cut you off or isn't going fast enough or is going too fast. It doesn't help to scream at the people in front of you in line or to yell across a parking lot, "Come on, guy, get it going. Move out of my way." But this is what I see over and over again. And I'm just wondering, where does this anger come from? Why are people walking around holding the proverbial sword, ready to fight? That's what that means. Holding the sword is always looking for, always ready for, always expecting to fight. And so they walk around with this sword in their hand, looking for who they're going to fight with next. Who am I going to be mad at next? It's such a waste of energy. People, put down the sword. Put the sword away. I think the first person I heard that phrase from was Mel Robbins. I'm going to give her the credit because I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. Put the sword down. You don't need to carry around all of this anger all of the time. But where does it come from? And what can help? What can help? Where does it come from? A lot of times it comes from unresolved trauma, unresolved childhood experiences, unresolved issues that you have maybe with a friend or a family member, unforgiveness. Then all of these things build up inside of you, and then trivial things become major things where your anger goes out of control. Literally, you are walking around always being offended. And when you're always feeling offended, like everybody is out to get you, that sword is always ready and you are ready to go to battle at all times. What if you laid down the sword? What if you decided that you were not going to sweat the small stuff? Isn't that the book? Don't sweat the small stuff, and in parentheses, and it's all the small stuff. When we look back over our lives, the things that made us angry, that made us yell at someone in traffic or pushed us over the edge, that we were rude to people in a line in the store because we had to wait, or in a line at the car wash because we had to wait. When we feel like we are always being offended, we are always holding on to that sword, and we are always ready to ram that sword into somebody because we feel offended all the time. That is a misplacement of energy. It is a waste of your precious energy. It is a waste of your precious time. It is a waste of your incredibly precious life. And when we look back, most of the time we can't even remember what made us so angry. And even if we can, after time, we realize that it either, one, wasn't that big a deal, or two, there was nothing we could do about it anyway. If there is a long line at a checkout or at a car wash or at Dunkin' Donuts or at Starbucks or wherever, fill in the blank, if there's a long line, we can't do anything about it unless we go super early so we're the first person in line. If we are angry at someone who cuts us off in traffic, there is nothing you can do about how that other person is driving. If there is a merge lane coming up and there's a sign that says, hey, the left lane is going to be closed in 1 mile, and you get up to where that traffic jam is and people are still whizzing by the side of your car because they want to get to the front of the line, there's nothing you can do about their decision to not pay attention to what is going on around them, or to choose that they want to be in the front of the line. You're not in control of how they decide. You're only in control of your own actions. So why do we get so angry at things that we can't control, things that literally don't matter? Yet we walk around holding that sword, being offended all the time. And I see it more and more and more as the holiday season comes closer and closer. I know that behind that, there is a lot of trauma. There is a lot of grief. We're missing people. We're missing as we get older and we lose friends and family members and loved ones. The holidays become different. When in my specific case, I don't have my mom and dad. My oldest brother is gone. Favorite aunts, my grandmother. It's a different season for me. Some family issues that are going on. It's a different season. And so I understand that grief and that trauma that comes in there. But still the question is, why do we react so severely, ready to just fight, rather than dealing with anger? Why do we do that? I really believe that it is from those unresolved issues. And there are a lot of psychology reports that will back this up. So if we know what's bringing it in, then how do we change it? How do we say I don't want to be this way anymore? How do we get to the point of wanting to say I don't want to be this way anymore? Well, that is a choice. I don't want to be this way anymore. So then what do? There are some simple things that we can do, like, are we getting enough sleep? What does our nutrition look like? And are we making time for relaxation and fun every day? Those are biggies. If we're not getting enough sleep, we're going to feel stressed. If we are not eating properly, if we're not eating healthy foods, whole foods, we probably will feel more, well, not probably, we will feel more stressed. If we are not taking care of our health, we will feel more stressed. What if there's an underlying health issue? When was the last time you had a checkup? Are you anemic? Are you low in B vitamins or too high in B vitamins? That was my last one. They were off the charts too high and we had to bring them back. And that made a difference in my stress level. So get a checkup with a really good practitioner and look at how you're sleeping and look at how you're eating. And are you journaling? Are you taking time for fun every day? Are you finding time to laugh every single day? Are you just nose to the grindstone? That's me. That is a huge one for me. I will work so stinking hard every single day and then realize at the end of the day that I, one, never took time to stop for lunch or eat something decent. 2, never took time to laugh. 3, maybe I never even took time to walk out of my office and say hello to somebody. Those will cause stress to build and build and build so that you snap at something that's not even a big deal. And it could be deeper. And it could be a combination of these things that you can do and needing professional help. That is not me. I am a coach. I am a speaker. I love you and I care about you. I am not a counselor. I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. And if you need that professional help, please, please get that help. I think we all benefit from speaking with counselors. I think we all benefit from having those trained professionals walk us through and help us through. Working with a coach alongside of a counselor is a winning combination. I would love to be that person in your life. I am passionate about helping people become a better communicator and a better leader and more confident and more clear in their goals and how to set boundaries. I love doing that, developing the leaders around you and within you, developing your own growth, knowing how to know what is important and what to let go of and manage your time. Those are all things that I am super passionate about, and they're in my wheelhouse. And when you are working alongside with a counselor to find out why you react the way you react on a deeper level, and then you put that together with what I do, it's a winning combination. But if you're going to start with only one, go to a counselor, go to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, but talk to someone. If your anger is out of control, there is a deeper issue. Talk it through. There is no shame and no embarrassment in seeing and talking with a counselor. There is not. Some people will put a stigma on that. Don't accept it. Just don't accept it. Put down the sword and get the help you need. The holidays are hard. We see Christmas movies. I love to watch the Hallmark Channel and all these Christmas movies, and there's always this happy ending. But in real life, that happy ending may take years and years, decades, a lifetime to happen. And sometimes it doesn't. So how do we cope with it? So we're not walking around all the time holding on to a sword ready to fight. I implore you to put down the sword. I can promise you that life lived with joy and life lived with peace is an amazing life. I've lived both. So angry all the time. I have lived a life of being so angry all the time that I alienated people that I love with all my heart. And I'm still paying the consequences for that. And I now live a life of peace, of letting these things roll off my back, becoming Teflon. Am I perfect? No, I wish I was. But I really work at it. I work on developing myself every single day, because if you're not getting better, you're not good. If you cease to be better, when you cease to be better, you cease to be good. That's just the truth. You always have to be growing, learning, becoming a better version of yourself. And that life of peace and power, of confidence, of clarity, that's what I help you in your life. That's what I help you claim. It's what I help you walk as a speaker and a coach and a trainer. That's what I do. And I am passionate about it because I have seen in my own life the transformation of what it feels like, what it looks like to put down the sword, to stop being so easily offended, to stop wanting to fight everybody and everything. You don't have to. So take a look at the things you can control, how much you sleep, what are you feeding yourself? Are you taking time for relaxation and laughter? And the other side, the other piece of that is talking to someone, a counselor and or a coach. A counselor and a coach is the best combo. I love you. I am your biggest fan. I care about you. And it saddens me, the negative energy that I am sensing and feeling when I go out into stores or go out and drive. Start spreading smiles and kindness. Cultivate kindness everywhere you go. Grab a journal. I was speaking with a friend the other day, and we were talking about some things that were going on. And I said, your assignment for the next 7 days is to grab a journal every single day. I don't care if you have 5 minutes or 5 hours or anywhere in between or whatever you have, and just start writing. Let your brain empty out on paper. So I'm giving you the same challenge. And so it's not really a journal prompt, but it's a journal challenge. Grab a journal and start writing. If you have 5 minutes, write for 5 minutes. If you have an hour, write for an hour. Let your brain literally dump out on that paper. Dump it out. You don't even have to read it back. Not yet. Give it 7 days and then go back and read through it. The answers to what you are looking for are going to be somewhere in what you write. When you allow your brain to empty out, there's so many answers and so many solutions and so many dreams and so many desires in what you're writing. Give yourself a chance to find it. I love you. I really do. And I can't wait to see you on the next podcast. Remember to like, to subscribe, to save this podcast, to share this podcast. This is an important message. Share it out. Let's get the word out there. I can't wait to talk to you again.